we will talk about Dylan and Carter together. But I do want to start with Carter off of that point, because Carter Bryant was phenomenal on defense. The offense, real question marks, significant, substantial question marks, but we knew that entering this process. Defensively, the way he was able to pressure at the point of attack, the way that he was switchable defensively, he had no problem dealing with guards. He had no problem dealing with bigger guys like Cooper Flagg. He looked like one of the best defenders I've seen at Summer League in like a few years, frankly. I thought he was phenomenal on that end of the court.
Yeah, he was really, really good. I think he was impactful in all of the ways you would want to see. He just kind of, I think his process is really good. I mean, even offensively, I know we'll talk about it. Like, he just didn't make shots. And we knew there were going to be some limitations. We talked about it in terms of that. But I think the thing that stood out to me the most on the defensive end was he never gives up on a play, Sam. Like, he always is willing to make the next play, find a way to make an impact or contest a shot. And there was a play in particular, he was guarding on the wing. I think Isaiah Collier drove middle of the lane, kicked to Filipowski in the corner, and he rotates off the wing and is able to get there and contest and blocked the Filipowski corner catch and shoot 3-pointer. And it was just, it wasn't like a super highlight play, but it just kind of showed what he is about in terms of multiple efforts, never giving up on a play, combined with the size and athleticism to make an impact with that type of effort and recognition. I am with you and everybody else that he was really good defensively.
And I think that to piggyback off of that point that you just said, what impressed me most defensively was actually the recovery speed. In general, like in ball screens, again, like Cooper got him on his hip. Who'd they play in their first game in Vegas? It was the Sixers? No, it was it the Sixers? The Sixers. I think it was the Sixers, to be honest, because I think it was like kind of a blowout, if I remember correctly. But
yeah, Sixers.
Like, they had him bothering the shit out of everybody at the point of attack, and then there'd be times where like the ball handler, whoever it would be it Judah Mintz or whatever, would get him on his hip. And then his willingness to fight around the screen, to stay on his hip and never give up on the play, and then absolutely swat the shit out of shots at the rim, and really be able to elevate off of 1 foot, off of 2 feet, to be able to get back there and contest that shot, I thought was like genuinely like pretty special. Honestly, defensively, like there are guys that like just don't have those athletic traits to be able to do that. Forget like even the effort, which other guys just don't provide. It's the combination of the effort and the athletic traits to be able to do all of those things that I thought was wildly impressive from Carter. Offensively, I mean, you can make one of two arguments. I will say that I liked the fact that he was willing to shoot. Like, I thought it was really important that he was just a willing 3-point shooter at the end of the day. I thought it was very telling how limited he was in a lot of ways. I do wonder if getting him into more of a uncontrolled chaos of Summer League situation might help him, where like he's able to get into rhythm. He knows, okay, stand in the corner, knock down threes. If I have to relocate up to the wing, catch and shoot 3. He's going to shoot it at some point. It's just like, I wonder if not knowing where the shots were coming from was kind of, an issue there, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, this is a guy that, to remind people, like, came off the bench last year as a freshman in college. And then he goes into Summer League and he's taking the 3rd most field goal attempts on his team. And it not that it was a lot, but when you just talk about what his, role is or his position is in the pecking order, maybe it was a little bit more than what he was ready for. Obviously, he was a high-level high school guy, so it's not like he's never done it. But I also want to quickly make the point, I know this isn't what we're doing right now, that defense is like super scary in San Antonio with what they could be putting together between a trio of Steph Castle, Carter Bryant, and Victor Wembanyama. Like, that's just like, that's really, really scary
and
stuff.
Sohan.
Yeah, Sohan, and like I think Dylan Harper. Like, again, we don't have to get into it right now. It's just like everybody always talks about Victor. They're putting other guys around him that he's not just going to cover for. They're going to make it even better. Offensively, it was limited. We knew it was going to be limited. I had in my pre-draft notes, like, I think he can shoot. I think he's going to shoot. I think he moves the ball well. I had real questions about his ability to put the ball on the deck. And, that's going to show up. I don't think he's going to be asked to do that, to your point, a whole lot early in his career. Stay in the corner, cut at the right time, go offensive rebound at the right time, knock down corner catch and shoot threes, defend your ass off, and then run in transition and do it again. I have plenty of confidence that Carter Bryant's going to be able to do that.
I think that what I would be just like 10% worried about with Carter Bryant this year is this year. I'm not saying in the future. Like, I think Carter's going to be a really good NBA player, especially on defense. They really don't have a lot of shooters on their team. Like Steph Castle, questionable shooter. Jeremy Sohan, questionable shooter. I think Carter is probably going to be a bit of a questionable shooter this year at the very least. Like, it was low volume in college, did make them, but obviously this summer league didn't make them. Like, it might not be super sweet unless he's wide open from three. I just worry that he might end up being the odd man out in terms of their rotation, being a rookie, being that Jeremy Sohan has established himself there a little bit more. Steph Castle is there already. It could be a situation where it's a very slow build for Carter Bryant. And I just would tell Spurs fans, like, don't get discouraged by that. It's more of a positive for where your team is. It's a champagne problem to have, that you might have to play Champagne over Carter Bryant because he can shoot the ball and Carter might be a little bit more of a questionable shooter, and you need that shooting.
Well, and you have Harrison Barnes there as well as a vet, right? That I thought offensively filled the role that they needed. He shot 43% from three last year, to your point here. And so, it is interesting. Like, I kind of pencil him into the rotation. But when you look at that Spurs roster right now, he's probably not in the 10-man rotation.
I would kind of argue that, like, what he brings is kind of the thing that they need the least right now, because they have they have really good defenders around Victor already. So, it'll be interesting to see how he might just push defensively, and they might just be like, he has to play because he's so good on defense, but we'll see what happens there.
Yep.
Okay. Dylan Harper is the other guy. By the way, Dylan Harper, I really liked him on defense. I thought that utilizing him as like a pressure point of attack defender in the backcourt was really impressive. That's something that he's always kind of gotten underrated for, I think, to be honest with you, Bryce. I've always thought that Dylan was like a pretty strong point of attack defender when he wanted to be. Like, you watch him in like USA basketball stuff, like that dude like really got after it on defense. I would not be surprised if you see him do a lot of that this year in San Antonio, but I think the more important thing is the offense. What did you think of Dylan's offense in Summer League?
Yeah, I'm with you on the defensive side as well. I remember going back to the offseason before this thing really got going, and we talked about how a lot of guys at the top of the draft weren't these just offensive guys. We thought they'd at least be neutral defensively. Obviously, Dylan has the build to be good on that end. I continue, like, just watching him play. He plays with a fluidity and a pace that I just enjoy, Sam. So, like, I think I have a feeling I'm going to end up just like never being able to quit Dylan Harper now that I'm in on it. And I mean, I have no reason to think he's not going to be successful, but I love the nuance that he plays with. I don't think he gets enough credit for that aspect of his game, and the handle he has to navigate defenders. He uses eye manipulation on his passes. He changes direction. He changes play. He just plays with a tempo that's really fun to me. And then it seemed like he's ready for the counter move when the defense throws something at him. I know when you look at the numbers, the assist to turnover ratio was negative. I will say, like, assist numbers lie, and especially in Summer League when guys aren't always shooting a very high percentage. Turnovers, sure, like that's probably a worry. He's got to make shots. We know that. I thought he looked like an NBA player. I thought he was in control of his body and the game and the pace that he was playing at.
Completely agree. I mean, look, that's always the thing that I've loved with Dylan Harper. I mean, like, I'll just pull up the draft guide here that I published. I mean, the polish has always been the thing that I love the most about him at the end of the day. Just looking at it on screen here, has a very polished game. Footwork's tremendous for a teenager. Very creative mindset with his handle. Sets up defenders incredibly well with a bevy of different moves off the bounce, all while staying balanced off 2 feet. Throws hang dribbles and hesitations into crossovers and behind the back dribbles. Strings all those moves together with confidence. Consistently plays at a sharp pace. The other thing is just the counters, like you said, be it the anticipation or the Hooper gene or whatever it is, he just always seems to be able to take advantage with the crossover if defender gets slightly off balance. He just really knows how to play with counters at the end of the day is what's so impressive to me about him. I love what Dylan Harper is capable of, and I think he's going to be an incredibly, incredibly impressive player for them this season. I think he's going to come in and play a real role for them from day one. Offensively, in terms of what I saw, I thought that he was really impressive getting to the basket. I thought that all of that stuff absolutely translated from like moment one. The ability to break down defenders, keep them on his hip, get all the way to the rim and finish. The finishing wasn't amazing, but again, Summer League basketball, it's just really hard to have space in Summer League. Like Ibrahima Diallo played, 5 minutes that game, went 0 for 1. The Osifo guy who was like their backup center played 20 minutes, took 2 shots. Summer League is like the easiest place to help off of the big basketball wise, like in the NBA. And I think it's just really hard for guys to finish a lot of the time in the NBA. Harper's going to have even more space to finish around the rim, I think, than what he does at Summer League. So I thought he was really impressive. I really like Dylan.
Yep, I agree.
And look, again, you look at the numbers, played 2 games, sat out, the first couple here with Summer League, but 16 points in both games, only had 2 assists in both games. But again, like you said, I thought it was not reflective of his passing. Averaged 4 rebounds in those games. I thought he was totally fine. I have no issues at all with what I saw from Dylan Harper.